What's up, guys? Peter from Panda here. Hey, I want to show you something. This is that second piece that I ordered from Reynolds Concealed Creations out of Phoenix, Arizona. And this is what they call a concealment beam. I was really intrigued by this. Obviously, when I was trying to get my concealment clock, check out that video if you're looking to hide something in a custom-made piece. They just do an amazing job, and that gives you true concealment because no one's ever seen whatever you're commissioning. But what they do is make what they do is they make some concealment pieces that kind of fall in their regular routine and their regular lineup. And I was on their website when I was ordering my thing, and I found it, and I was like, I'm going to get that. I got to try that. It looks pretty cool. This is what it is. It's called a concealment beam. Obviously, mine's the size of like a large shoebox, but again, with a custom piece, you can order it in any size that you want. Really, I mean, this is practical, and it's practical to make, it's practical to ship, fits your budget, etc., etc. And so what you can see here is it's kind of like a large box. When I was on the website, I saw really long ones. I saw standing vertically. There's a lot of things you can do with it, and as I've been exploring it, I've got some ideas of how you can use it. But one of the things they do here is you can see that they do this high voltage electrical burn process on it. It gives it a really interesting look. To me, it looks like a bird's eye view of the Grand Canyon. It looks like rivers and arteries. It looks like it almost gives it like a burlwood or driftwood effect. I think it's really cool looking. It absolutely burns not only the markings of the electricity into the wood, but it actually, in the main vein, burns a noticeable channel, which they can color fill. In this case, they've kind of left it in that char, and then they've finished it in this this brown stain that gives it a little bit of a natural look, in my opinion. I think it looks great. But you can actually request anything you want. You could color fill the burn marks. You could ask for it not to have any of the burn marks. You could have this varnished in something glossy or kind of a red or whatever you want. The key about it, though, is it is a concealment piece, and it works like any box. It's really kind of two pieces. And so you lift the top off here, and inside you would have kind of a regular box. Now, Michael at Reynolds Concealed Creations asked me how big I wanted it, and so I sent him some dimensions that I didn't even really know what I was going to use this for, except protecting my raisinets. But what you can do is request this in a variety of shapes, right? So if you have something in particular you're trying to conceal, from a firearm to some important documents to raisinets or Swedish fish or junior mints, which is chocolate and mint, and they are truly delicious. You can ask for this in any size. This box is kind of pretty typical. Where the magic is, and it's all stained and it's really nice looking and beautiful too. Where the magic is that the box itself, kind of the main cover, is really nicely made in that, one, the finish, it almost looks like it's a railroad tie or a beam. It doesn't scream that it's made out of paneled wood and then put together, because the edges are nicely smoothed. The grain is all moving the same way. It looks really nice. But you have these beveled edges on the bottom, and so even if I were throwing this on pretty quickly, it's kind of like having a beveled edge to the bottom of your pistol grip or anything else. It just kind of fits very, very quickly. So you don't have to really line up things, and so that beveled edge is kind of a nice detail. The other thing that's really cool is that it's a nice tight fit. So one, you could absolutely put this on your desk, your nightstand, around. It will look like a nice piece of, accessory to your furniture. You could have in your office or on a window ledge. But I also think you could potentially mount this box, say, to the wall, right? Drill some holes, mount some screws up here, and it would almost work like a little bit like a concealment shelf, in that once this is up on the wall, you could attach this, and there's nothing physically holding it in place other than the gravity, kind of holding it onto the box itself. But it doesn't necessarily mean you have to have it on the table or the floor or on a desk. So I think it gives you a lot of different possibilities. So one of the things that I wanted to mention about this is that the price is going to vary depending on how big and what kind of options you want. So in this case, this one, which was about 16 inches long and 10 inches by 10 inches, ended up being about $100. Now it's I think shipping for two pieces for me was about $50. So if you're just ordering this, you got to understand that your shipping costs will vary depending on where you're from. The size is going to matter a whole lot, and the the amount of work that you need to kind of customize it for you is gonna vary. So you could be kind of sky's the limit down to something like this, which might run you between 100 and 150 bucks all in. I think it's a lot of value for something that you don't see every day, that certainly offers some concealment. Obviously no locking capability unless you add something like that, but it's it's not something that people would look at and say, hey, that's concealing something or it's hiding something, right? I want to give you a shout out here too, is a store called Paraphernalia Boutique in Phoenix, Arizona. So if you're in Arizona, awesome state, love the freedom, love the weather. Phoenix, Arizona, Paraphernalia Boutique sells paraphernalia, right? So things to conceal and hide things. And I won't tell you what theme they might be in, but they do sell, and they are partnered up with Reynolds Concealed Creations to sell this type of thing in stock. So they have a variety of these, as well as some of their other creations in their store. You actually might be able to mail order it directly. So if you don't want to wait and commission something for, like a custom piece, you could get something right off the shelf, get it in the mail, and get it in your house right away. So check it out, Paraphernalia Boutique in Phoenix, Arizona. So check it out. The Concealment Beam, Reynolds Concealed Creation. That's two things I've bought from them and really love both of them. So I'm really excited about it. Peter Von Panda, out.